Opa! Okay, we're back.
Yay!
Woo! So, when last we left, you guys were about to head out to, Coalhaven.
Mm-hmm.
We actually have a change of plan. No.
No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too thrown off because I did when I didn't know last week. I kind of made at least some sort of story for any direction you go, except maybe like to Whitebridge. I don't think I have anything planned for that.
Let's
We're
go to
gonna go kill the
Whitebridge.
trolls of Falcon Keep, guys.
Who may still be there for all you know. Um, uh,
They're the greatest threat. That's why we need to go clear it out.
yeah, trolls are dangerous. So we did leave in Pearson's house. We can do several things. If you guys have any interactions you would like to have, we can do so. We can skip ahead till you're getting ready to go. It is in your ballpark.
I have no interactions at this time.
I mean, I don't want to talk with these PCs. Like, we already had like a talk last week and
We did.
We
everything.
sure did.
Yeah.
hmm
I just have a couple of things to go over narratively.
All right.
So later on that night, after talking it over in Pearson's house, Keen goes back to his room with Olivia, talks to her throughout the night, and eventually in the morning he will send her along with a couple of his scales, which we got when he was fully transformed, over to Vamgalir to get her, in other words, present. He was planning on making her a necklace that beats with his heartbeat, or that glows with his heartbeat. So that's what she is going to be doing. And also in the morning, he will have a meeting with Celine, go over what transpired last night, and just keep her up to date.
Okay. All right. There is not much. As a GM, I need to. Obviously, Olivia did what you said. Lady Celine is concerned for the group dynamic, but she will at least mention this. She will note this. She will tell Keen that Jarek actually has every right to feel the way he feels, no matter how she feels about that fact.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, yeah, everything you said, it all happened as you said it did.
Yes.
So, okay, so then we shall skip ahead a bit until the next morning,
Mhm.
where you are all packing up, getting ready to go. I would assume, where would you guys basically like to meet up?
The gate would work. Jarek doesn't sleep. Like, the stable's probably close by there. Got to get
Yeah.
Heinrich ready to go. We're going on a trip.
Yep.
Stables, probably. Yeah.
All right.
Gate stables, yeah.
Okay, so as you guys are getting ready to head out, you are approached by Sky and Inferno. I had planned to look this up and I forgot, but you remember the Dark Elf's name.
I do. Give me a moment to open up my notes.
Oh, I thought you'd actually. I need to look it up too. But you're approached by your Dark Elf ally and Sky.
Hold up a second.
All right.
Just give me a moment. It just takes all 2 seconds. Where is my dark? Where is the dark elf?
Can you run
There we
a
go,
control
Enadik.
function?
Enadik.
Enadik.
Thank you. Inadik and Sky approach you, and Inadik nods to Pearson and says, "I'm glad that you're well."
Pearson will give nod back. Same to you.
And then Sky will say, "I heard that you're headed for Coalhaven." And this is to the whole group, so.
That would be correct.
She nods and she says, "The reports right now are that the demons are in full retreat. However, we do know that there are small bands here, and here in the forest." She'll roll out a leather map of the known forest around Sunset Tower, and she'll mark here, here, and down here. So she says, I suggest if you're headed towards Coalhaven, if you want to avoid them, to go east, far enough this way, and then head towards Ironhall. You should avoid most, or if any, demons.
Jarek looks to Cole. Cole, you think you can lead us on a suitable enough path? You know the Lodassey Forest.
Yes, I believe I would know that route fairly well. It's thick enough that most camps cannot be set up, but there are patches.
Useful information, Sky, thank you. Is there anything else that the scouts of Sunset Tower are reporting that we should keep an eye on as we leave?
One more thing. Inadik and I were on patrol last night, and we found this. And Inadik will wave his hands, and a dark globe will appear up above him, and out of it will fall something that looks vaguely familiar. It looks like a black version of one of Nye's golems, but it's different. It's wearing clothing, and it has weapons, and its face is covered. It is not moving, and looks quite dead. Sky will say it was staking out Pearson's house. Or where your family stays. It was rather difficult to bring down. My guess is that the enemy is going to start sending, and she kicks it with her boot, assassins after you.
It's not us I'm worried about. I'm worried about that they're going to be trying to do that to my family again. So, what are we going to do to stop that?
Sky nods, and she says, I've already sent soldiers to move them to a different location further within the Sunset Tower itself. I'm going to ask Lady Celine to place barriers above it, but as far as when your wife is doing her...
I'm going to cover her mouth.
Okay.
Before we discuss this further, please remove that.
Sky actually looks right-eyed and nods and says, of course. And she motions to Inadik, and Inadik just starts pulling it away. My apologies, I didn't even think about that.
May continue.
She nods and she says, I am requesting Lady Celine place a protection barrier on it, and Carla will have full escort whenever she is outside.
No. No, Carla doesn't go outside, and you're not requesting, you're demanding. I'm not going anywhere until I know they're going to be as safe as can be. You understand me?
Sky looks a little conflicted when you said demanding of Lady Celine, but after a moment she looks at you and then she says, I'm demanding.
Gotcha. Well, we're going to have to be delayed by a couple hours. I'm going to have to make sure of this myself. And then we can go.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
All right.
In fact, Keen will say, I'll make sure that it's done. I'll talk to Celine.
No, I have a voice. It's fair enough. It's easy enough. And narratively speaking, all Pearson wants to do, we don't have to spend any additional in-game time on this at all. But Pearson just wants to see with his eyes that these defenses are put up as they were and that the plan is solid. And that's it. That's all.
All right. I will say this. Lady Celine is more than happy to submit your request with one alteration. She has found a rather spacious section of the palace, which includes, a few different rooms, but she is going to be placing basically not just your family, but also Finn's uncle, Caleb, and anyone else that is incredibly close to you guys within that section.
Good.
Call. And I trust that they'll be the highest absolute highest security.
Uh,
The same that's used to protect you, Lady Celine.
She will nod. I will say this, that Caleb makes it very, very clear that he doesn't mind staying there, but he's not going to be in there all day. He has work to do, and no one's going to tell him different. Your family, on the other hand, Pearson, is not happy about it, but they're not going to go against your better judgment.
Oh, it's better grumpy than dead. If Caleb
Yep.
wants to kill himself, then so be it. But it's going to be very simple. These demons are not going to play fair. There's to them, leaving wives and friends and children alone isn't in their DNA. Hell, it's not even in the in the souls of human beings, let alone demons. So when they can't get to us, they'll get to them. So they just have to understand that.
I don't have anything to do during these hours, Squee, but before Sky goes anywhere out of that stable, I would like to unceremoniously mage hand the wand of unfettered minion towards her.
Sky will catch it with surprise and blink at Jarek.
It is a magic item which is no longer of use to me, as I have replaced it with something better. You may do with it as you wish. I know you're not much in the way of casting, but I figure that you, as you have stayed here for so long, would know best how to allocate it, even if that is giving it back to Lady Celine.
Her eyes will widen with a look of surprise, and for the briefest moment, she'll look more like the original Sky and less like the one you see now, and she'll say, "I thought that, I mean, yes, of course, I will do as you ask," and then she will nod her head.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Jared
So,
doesn't
yeah,
want
once
that fucking
ever-
scrub item.
So once everything is in order, I'm good to go. I'm good to continue where we were going.
Kip is coming with us, right?
Do you as a group want Kip coming with you?
I'm fine with it.
If
Well-
Blair wants to, I don't mind.
It would depend on what Colhaven's views on dragons are.
Untested? We'll put it that
Okay.
way.
Untested.
I'll bring
I
Kip
like
along.
All right. Then after we all gather back at the stable after these hours of hunting down and making sure the security's intact, Pearson, I've been
Yes?
thinking about what you said yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And remind me, yesterday was very busy. You noted that you hadn't had the opportunity, or rather, we didn't come across anyone for you to forgive as you wished for me to do to Keen, right?
Pearson nods. Indeed, all our enemies have been demons, and they've all been trying to kill us. Defending ourselves in self-defense was more important than forgiveness.
I understand that, and I agree with you. However, I did give some thought, and I came up with a way, at least for me to better understand you and what you were telling me.
Okay. Pearson
Sky.
looks on. Ooh, and with that, Pearson gives a look as if Jarek punched him in the gut.
Jarek actually has a little glint in his eyes, and he offers a small smile. Now, Sky has done nothing but attempt to assist us as of late, whenever we've been in the Sunset Tower, informing us of all of these events and demons to watch out for, and worries about your family. And once upon a time, mentally possessed, she attempted to steal your daughter. Now, you wouldn't have any argument from me if you didn't forgive her, but... And then Jarek outstretches his arms to his sides and looks at Pearson.
Let's go, Pearson says.
Jarek will get on Heinrich and say nothing more.
Don't assume my silence means Let's just see how things play out. We're going to be leaving Sunset Tower, and even if I were in a very forgiving mood, now is not the time. We've been delayed for too long. Maybe once again when we return. Such a thing that you ask requires great introspection.
Jarek says nothing.
Okay.
Okay. Ready to hit...
Actually,
Oh, yes.
I forgot to mention, and I'm going to say that I forgot to mention it before we had the whole 2-hour wait. Keen cut his hair and shaved his beard, so he looks different now. Yeah. I can give you a picture,
Sure.
and Squee already has a picture, but I'll give it to him anyways.
Well, I got it elsewhere. I'd have to pull it up.
Yeah.
Faster.
It is right here.
So dapper.
So
Yeah.
dapper, so clean.
Indeed.
He could do an
So-
Old Spice commercial.
Indeed. That is all I wanted to add. I completely forgot to put that in there.
All right, Burn.
And I am good to go as well.
Okay. So, first question. You guys leave the gate. Where do you go?
East.
Cole.
Cole is going to crack his neck, and going to then pretty much leap up into the trees, making sure that the group can see him, and going to guide him through the direction I feel is best to avoid what demon camps might be around those areas. He's also going to try to avoid any particular large encampments of creatures that might seem to be agitated of any particular kind, like people going through their area. And there's besides that, I think we can take minor scuffles like a wild boar or something like that.
Actually, the forest, and Cole, you would be incredibly sensitive to this, but everyone else would be, feel that or I'm not going to tell you what you feel, but it's very quiet. You don't see many animals. You don't hear too many birds chirping. It's just much quieter than you would expect a forest to be. And Cole, then you're used to the Elanisi forest being. It's not that there aren't any animals at all. It's just that they're much rarer and skittish.
Let's keep moving.
Alright, so...
Okie dokie.
well, since you're the one scouting, Cole, can you roll me a D100, please?
D100. All right. Let's see, 20, not a 100. There we go.
Okay. That equals this one. Okay. Oh, before I forget, since you guys are heading out on an adventure, I don't know if we talked about it last session or not. You're not getting a full heal up yet, unless I already said you did. I don't think I did. But if you are below half hit points or anything, be sure to roll re-rolls or, spend recoveries or whatnot. I'm pretty sure you've all done it, but we're heading out on the road. Might as well check. After about 6 hours of travel, a good several miles away from the Sunset Tower, Cole, you notice through the trees several small plumes of smoke further to the east, basically right in the path of where you're going. You are familiar enough with the forest to know that there is a halfling village in that direction. You don't hear any from where you are. You're still a few miles out. You don't hear any loud noises like battle or anything like that. But you do, like I said, you do see a few columns of smoke from that direction.
All right. I'm going to stop our movement and going to inform the others about this. And I'm going to probably caution something along the lines of whatever it is, I do not feel that the inhabitants will be there anymore.
Why do you say that?
I don't hear anything.
We're going to investigate regardless.
Be wary of a trap.
All right, I'll keep my eyes peeled. Although I'm more used to back alleys than trees.
And you will continue leading towards the column of smoke.
Okay. As you get closer, you do start to hear noises that sound like village living. You hear voices wafting through the trees, maybe the sound of a few tools here and there. Nothing that, like I said, again, nothing that seems battle-oriented. As you get closer to the village, suddenly you get to a break in the trees where the trees have been cleared out to allow the village for some farmland and things like that. And the sight you see before you is one of not devastation, but close. Many of the halfling buildings are burned down or caved in. None of them look undamaged. There are a good amount of halflings there, probably 50 or so, but they are a sad lot. They look tired and worn. Many of them have bandages or injured. Others are clinging to the streets. And the smoke that you saw wafting through the trees are some houses that are still embers, that are still have not had it. The people have not had a chance to put out yet. When they see you, they look at you with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension.
Jarek leans down from the horse and says to the others, "Doesn't look like there's any demons here. Should we turn?"
Will Pearson suggests that they make sure there isn't any sort of immediate help. Let them know that the way we came from the Sunset Tower was safe, and Cole perhaps can direct them, giving them landmark by landmark an idea of how to get back to Sunset Tower. As sad as it is, there's nothing we can do to help these refugees. Sunset Tower's better equipped.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a suitable approach. Cole?
I agree.
You wanna... If you're from the Elanisi Forest, Cole, you must have talked to a halfling or two. Do you think they'd rather hear words from you or from a human?
Usually they get scared, but I think times have changed. I can go talk with them.
All right.
All right. I know I just made you roll one, but roll me another D100. We're going to see if any of them recognize who you are.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. None of them show any real recognition other than just an orc walking towards them. As you approach the village and start going down the street, you do have several of the halflings that are sitting by the street reach up their hands and ask for food or gold coins or anything you can spare.
Cole, without too much of a hesitation, will actually plop down, I believe, 3 gold for anyone who can actually has their hands out.
All right.
Jarek carries around so many days of horse food, 50 days of it. He can spare 20 days of horse food.
Horse food, indeed.
Well, it's not like asking Jarek for food. Well,
Right.
what do I have here for you?
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, and horse food's still edible, I believe. Well, depending on what you eat, hay's not, but I think oats.
Oh, Heinrich eats meat now.
Oh, right. So that's
Jesus
still edible.
Christ.
Okay. The Cole, 2 of them are asking for gold, so that's 6 gold coins. The others are happy with the food given by Heinrich. You are very quickly approached by a halfling that's a little bit taller than the rest, and he's got a hard look to him. He looks unshaven, and his beard is peppered with gray. And he says,
Wait. You said he looks unshaven, but his beard is peppered with gray?
right.
Yes, he's not shaved. Unshaven, Inferno.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Inferno. Okay, sorry.
No, it's fine. He looks to you and says, "Not many travelers this way. How can we help you?"
Well, it's more of how we can help you. We've come across this in our travel, and feel that we can lend a hand, if that is a saying that you know.
He looks around him at the village and the current state it's in, and then looks back to you and says, "Exactly what are you offering?"
Well, I can, if you need directions to the Sunset Tower, and I believe they would be of at least some help.
He shakes his head and says, "We know where the Sunset Tower is. We were told by the elven patrols that there were demons coming. However, we're simple folk. I'm sad to say we didn't believe them. And then, once they came, it was too dangerous to travel. Are you telling me that's changed?"
We have traveled a safe path, but it may have changed from the time that we traveled from Sunset Tower.
He thinks about it and shakes his head and says, "We have a lot of wounded. If we were to try and move everyone through the forest now, if what you say is true, if we were attacked, we would be slaughtered."
If you're attacked here, you'll be slaughtered as well. So,
Squee, do any of the halflings present outside of their buildings look to be capable fighters or warriors or casters of any sort?
A few, actually, yeah. Everyone seems to have some sort of weapon on them, whether it be a farm implement or an actual weapon. Some of them, I would say about 30% of the halflings you see look like they're not too competent. They're certainly not on caliber of, say, Lady Celine's guard, but they definitely look like not only are they fairly competent, they also look like they've seen combat.
Okay. Well, the siege of Sunset Tower has been cleared up. The demons have, as far as we're aware, for the most part retreated, though there are still patrols. Should you find the decision to travel unwise, then you may do as you like.
He considers what you say again, and he says, "If the siege is lifted, perhaps we can send some runners for assistance." And then he starts directing some halflings to travel to the Sunset Tower and ask for assistance, and then turns back to you and says, We're grateful for your information. Is there anything we can do for you?
No.
I will confront the runners themselves and start describing landmarks and a travel route.
They're very polite, but they make it clear they're very familiar with the way. But it's not like they're being dismissive of anything you say.
All right. Then I will not push it.
As for the elder's offer, your survival will suffice. And Jericho will actually turn Heinrich around.
Before we leave, Pearson will ask who the slightly taller halfling who seems to be the spokesperson, and he'll ask, "Are you the leadership of this village?"
He pauses only briefly and says, "Since a week ago, yes."
So, did you have any part in deciding to ignore the elves' warning?
He puts his hands in his pockets and not apologetically, but maybe more resigned, says, "We are, like I said, simple folk. We vote on such things."
So then every single person who voted to ignore paid the cost, either with their lives or in the knowledge of that. Now, thankfully, hopefully, by the time this is done, there will be no more demons left to threaten you. But you'll have to live with that. And those will be his parting words.
He'll, before or when you're done, he'll motion to the village and say, "Is that not incredibly obvious, or are you sent here to simply make it more apparent?"
When children die, I like to rub salt in the wounds of the people responsible, Pearson says.
He looks at you and says, "Then you're a cruel man."
No, just a passionate one.
He'll blow out his growing mustache and say, "Again, thank you for your information." And then he'll turn around and walk away.
Okay. I'm good to go.
Yeah, so am I.
Yep.
All right. So, you guys travel on, and given the distance that you have to cover, and your party moving through the forest with Cole's help can move about 20 miles a day in the heavy forest. If you follow what Sky said, you need to travel almost 100 miles to the east, and then you're going to have to travel a little over 200 miles to the south to reach towards Iron Hall, which means that you're looking at 5 days east and then at least 10 days south.
All right.
Okay.
So, a few days pass, or 5 days or so pass fairly uneventfully. You do, as you get further out, start to see more animals. The further away you get from where the fighting was taking place in the forest.
Oh, hold on. I have an idea. Cole, keep an eye out of any sort of tracks that, I don't know, do you have any familiarity with how high elves move or what weaponry they use? If we actually see any evidence of high elves, that might be something worthwhile sending a message back to Sunset Tower.
If you're talking about footprints, they all look the same. I'll keep my eye out for any glints of gold.
All right. Jarek doesn't know how fucking footprints are supposed to look like a track. Whatever.
Why don't you? Why not? Why don't you roll me a tracking skill on that one?
Is that to me?
Yes, Cole.
Okay.
God, I hope it's not me.
I was about to say, like, all right, go ahead, Jake.
Heinrich, go. Go to the city.
Well, this will be. Am I trying to look at footprints and see if they're high elf, or is it more of like, do I have the knowledge for it?
No, this is more of do you see footprints first.
Okay.
We gotta start at square one.
Then it should be that. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. That should be all the pluses. Okay, there you go.
You are fairly confident that you see no footprints whatsoever. The only thing that you do see when you're looking, and I'm assuming this is basically as you lead them on, you're just keeping your eye out for things. You do notice that there is, it's very, very subtle, but when you pass a certain tree, you see a small indent in the branch that could be where a foot used to be. It looks fairly recent. It's difficult to tell how recent, but definitely within the last day or two. And it could be something else, but you've seen this kind of thing before, and it might be a foot. Impossible to tell what kind of foot, though, or whose. But that's all. Other than that, you see complete and total wilderness.
Alright. Cole's going to actually stop the group and take the time to see if this is one or multiple things going through the trees. If there is one path or if there's a group of them.
Okay. So you're going to more search the trees around you, yes?
Yes.
All right. Give me a second. You... Okay, you rolled amazingly, so I'm not going to make you roll again. You don't see almost anything else with one very brief exception. When you're looking through the trees and looking for other footprints or other notices or signs, you could, well, I won't say you could swear, you catch out of the corner of your eye movement. It doesn't match. What catches your eye about it is that it seems unnatural for a movement of a tree. Maybe it's an animal, maybe it's something. You don't get a good enough vision other than something moved up on the same level of the trees where you are. And it was bigger than, say, a squirrel.
Okay. Okay. Cole actually go down to the group and have motion so there's a huddling sort of like to come closer to him.
Jarek edges Heinrich over.
Cole leans into anyone who's around and briefly mention we might have a visitor. My guess is thing that we saw earlier today, or someone who's extremely curious. Whoever they are, they're quite skilled.
Well, no sense and reason for us to be out in the open when they show up. We might as well hide, and if we're discovered, then we're no less worse off.
Pearson, I'm not really sure that we could effectively hide from anyone who spends time in this forest. Jarek looks around at all of the trees and leaves.
Okay.
If you could, all of you, roll an awareness check. And add, whatever your regular bonuses are, add a +2 to it.
Awareness. What specific stat would be awareness?
For you, Cole, definitely tracking. So almost like the same roll you just made, but add 2 to it.
Okay. Is
Wow.
it sensing or more,
Noticing things around you.
okay. Than that.
Wow.
Okay. As you are there in a group, give me 1 second. You guys might have to zoom out a little bit, as usual. There we go. All of a sudden, you start hearing from up above you in the trees the sound of rustling, and then you see things start falling towards the ground on you. And the little vials that when they hit the ground, there's many of them, around 10. They hit the ground and start releasing a choking powder. And give me a second while I move this. All of you, give me 1 second. This area right here is quickly enveloped with a choking powder. This is going to go versus your physical defense. So everyone tell me, I'm just going to make this simple. 1 roll. This will make your physical defense or it will not. Hang on. Add, I believe it's 10. Give me a second. Let me check. No, add 9 to that.
Yeah,
Like that. It's everyone's physical defense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your physical defense is not that high.
All right.
Yeah.
Then basically you guys are in choking powder. It just like the one in the store, it is minus to attack and defense. A save while you're in the smoke will make it simply a minus to attack. A save outside the smoke will negate the effects. And as that happens, we're going to go ahead and roll for initiative. But you notice now, as these things fall around you, there are... give me a second. Let me make them visible for you. In the trees, 10 figures. You're still not exactly sure, but you're starting to see them in the trees up above you. And they are surrounding you. And let me clear the initiative table, and then we'll roll for initiative. So... go ahead and start rolling for initiative.
So they're within inside the ring of choking smoke.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious as to whether it applied to them.
It, well, we'll find out. Right.
Okay.
Well, no one's really had a chance to do anything yet, so you're not sure. Alright, we'll go ahead and order this. Okay. Keen, it is your turn, sir.
All right. I am going to start moving to the edge. Actually, it'd be a bad idea to damn it. Okay. I'll just stay here. And let's see. I will take a deep breath, as you guys have seen many times before, and shoot lightning out of my mouth at this guy.
Alright.
So attack is plus... Actually, it should be -4, so attack...
Is going to be 9 versus physical defense?
9 versus physical defense. That's going to miss.
That's going to be a miss, yeah.
Yeah. So that is 20 lightning damage,
Mm-hmm.
because it's half damage on a miss, and then that is it.
Alright. So that is okay. All right. It is their turn. Well, at least some of their turns. They are going to drop down out of the trees and move to here, 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 and there. And they are going to roll to attack each of you. What happens is their arms, and you can see them much more clearly now, they look very similar to what Sky showed you. They are wrapped in green bandages and little bits and bobs of tree branches and are effectively camouflaged. And Cole, you would know this, and Keen, you'd probably know this too, expertly camouflaged.
Mm-hmm.
So and when they get towards you, their arms start changing in the clay-like way that you're used to into nets, or net-like appendages that they then fling at you with each arm. So, Cole, the one to the right of you is going to be attacking. This is versus your AC.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and he's trying to hit you with the net. 23.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. You take 15 damage as you find that the little net, as it closes around you, has little sharp bits and pieces of clay on it that starts digging into your skin as the net starts to close around you. And you are considered grabbed, which means that you are at a -5 to disengage unless you attack that player in the same turn that you try and disengage. All right. Jarek, the one up above you, is going to try and do the same to you.
Yes, that hits.
All right. Keen, the one up above you, is going to try. Jeez.
That hits.
All right. And Pearson, the one right below you, is going to try.
I'll give you 3 guesses, but the first 2 don't count.
That's
It
a
hits.
miss. Oh, it hits? Okay. And the last one, this one right here, is actually going to try and envelop Keen again with another one.
Go for it. That hits.
All right.
So -15 again.
Mm-hmm. And just so you guys know, these creatures themselves will not be making attacks because obviously their appendages are nets. However, every round that you are stuck in that net, you will take 15 ongoing damage from the little sharp bits and pieces.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Cole, it is your turn.
All right. Since he is attached to me, may I try to move him by pretty much just turning, so he's more over here? Would it be like a strength check, or?
Hang on, give me a second. Let me think. I'm going to say make an attack roll, because it's not so much a strength check. It's a matter of, can you get your arms out of the net to even do something? So make an attack roll. If that hits and does a fair amount of damage and whatnot, we'll say that you move him.
Okay. So, okay, maybe I'm not understanding the next. So I'm, like, basically completely enveloped in a net? Or is it, like, just my upper body, or?
Most of your body is enveloped by this net.
Oh, okay. Then yes, that's what I would like to do.
Okay. First, what are you attacking with? Ranged or melee or?
It kind of has to be melee. I can't really get my arms to my javelins.
I will say that I will give you guys, like, you can get a weapon out. You could technically use your javelins if you want to, but yeah, you can get a weapon out, but basically the weapon's going to be trapped in the net with you. So you can still use it. You're not trying to use your bare fists. Unless
Okay.
you're Pearson and you like using your bare fists.
since I'm trying to move him, range attack just does not make sense.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
So I'm going to stab at thee and try to move him to my other side.
Okay.
Okay.
And Keen, if you could roll a save, if you haven't already, for the choking gas. All right.
So, I get a how many negative for this?
-4.
-4. Okay. Nope. -4. Well, no.
All right. Jarek, it is your turn.
I'm gonna delay until after Pearson.
Okay. Pearson.
What kind of roll do I need to make to get out of this net?
Well, it depends. If you attack it first, it's just a regular disengage. If you don't attack it first, it's a -5 disengage.
What do you mean by attack it first?
You
Like-
try to strike it first. Basically, if you try to strike it and then try and get out, it's easier to get away from it if you bean it good, basically.
It is referring to the
Okay.
creature in this case, and not the net.
Correct,
Oh,
correct.
Okay.
But since
I meant the net. I'm
well,
like, what?
theoretically, since the
Okay.
net is part of the creature, attacking the creature and the net together count as one.
Sure. I'm going to do a basic attack on the creature net then. Give me just a moment. Make sure I have the right modifier. 10. 15 is a miss. I'll just save.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I save.
Yes, you did.
Oh,
So-
God! I didn't even do a penalty. So there you go.
Penalty.
So it's definitely a miss.
Oh.
Okay.
And so
How much
you're
damage do I take?
15,
Uh-huh.
and you're only at a minus to attack, no longer defense.
Okay. That's my turn.
All right, Jarek.
All right. I haven't used this at all, so I'm going to go ahead and use a quick action to activate the spectral armor. Activate and to move into Ghost Realm, move through solid objects, and gain resist damage 12+, except versus force damage. The same applies to any enemy you target.
Okay.
So, because I can move through solid objects, is what's grabbing me a solid object?
Yes, it would count as a solid object.
Okay. That's cool. Just wanted to make sure I had that in mind. Alright. Well, gotta hang out here for a little bit. Let's see, just wanted to make sure I was no longer grabbed, so I no longer take that damage. Why don't I use my... Let's see, I'll still provoke. Let me see if I can shift away here, as you're no longer grabbing me. Nope. Okay, well, since I'm going to be committed here, we'll go ahead and use something that won't provoke an attack of opportunity, and that is going to be to activate as my move action, then, I guess. Converting that into a quick action, my staff, which is going to hit everyone nearby as of casting a spell.
Okay.
So I guess then 10 attack rolls, assuming there's 10 enemies. Well, maybe they might not all be within my reach.
You know what? There's a couple that are 40. I'm fast and loose with the rules. We'll say they're nearby.
Okay. 1d10, and this will be at a -4 penalty due to my ha. I'm dying. Dying bull. Let me go ahead and check my macro. Okay, yep. 1d10, 20. Not 1d10, you stupid cunt. PD. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Only one of those is safe. So basically all 9 of them, and we'll say that...
Okay, that guy. All of them have 15 ongoing negative energy damage save-ins, except for the one that I missed. And I have 8 ongoing negative energy damage save-ins. That was my move action converted into a quick action. My standard action, then, is going to be spent on Sobbing profusely? I like the idea of sobbing profusely. That's a pretty strong, compelling case I'm making. Let me check to make sure whether I have any close range spells. Close quarter spells. No shit. Okay. Well,
Throw a
that was
dagger
drawn
at
out
him.
on you know, I know I'm all ethereal and shit. That's probably good. Fuck it. I'll just convert my standard action into a move action to attempt to disengage from this bastard again. Nope, I'm committed here. I end my turn.
All right.
And
Saves.
go ahead and I take my damage, which is that. Let's make a save against my choking smoke.
Wait, are you taking damage or spectral?
Uh,
Oh, your spell damage, I guess.
Yes, I'm
Okay.
taking my personal
Got it.
damage. Yes. So I save against the choking smoke, and I don't save against my ongoing negative energy damage. My turn's over.
Okay. It is now the other golems who are happy for the moment. They drop down to the lower branches, so they're just up above the ground, and they're going to start pelting you guys with arrows. So, let's see here. All right, we're just gonna kind of go clockwise, and they're just gonna shoot at whoever's closest. Jarek, the one up above you is still gonna fire at you because he can see you, and he may or may not understand what's
Sure.
happening. So, this is 21 versus your AC.
That will hit, but will only deal half damage.
Okay, then you get 10 damage, good sir.
Okay. I'm
Alright.
staggered.
Next one is going for Cole. 22.
I still have the negative defense thing, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that hits.
All right, that's going to be 20 damage.
I'm going to negate 10 of that.
Okay.
No, I can't. Fuck. Okay. Never mind.
Pearson, the one to your bottom right, is going for you. 16.
Miss.
All right. The second one's going for you. 24.
Hit.
That is 20. And Keen.
I'm calling it right now. It's gonna be party wipe. Go ahead.
Okay, Keen. This one's for you. 15.
That'll miss.
Okay. I think that's a bit morbid right there, but
We can do it.
I'm just calling it. I could be wrong.
all right. Escalation goes up to 1.
Everyone who got hit gets to take their 15 points of ongoing negative energy and roll a save.
Working on that now. Let me go ahead and roll the save before I do the damage. We'll just do 9 DD20s. And I'll just go clockwise, inner circle, and then outer circle. So, 1, 2, 2 saves. So, the top guy above Jarek.
Well, the guys whose turn it was to make saves, not the people whose
Oh.
turns it wasn't.
Okay, then I'll just use the first
Yeah.
5 of those. Sorry, thank you. So still only 2 of them, and I'll just say the guy on top and the guy bottom right. But they still take their damage.
Mhm.
So, alright, escalation went up to 1, and I believe it is Keen's turn.
All right. Well. Huh. Give me a sec. Yeah, I've got nothing. So, okay, I'm engaged by both of these guys.
Correct.
If I were to use a ranged attack on one, I would get an opportunity attack from the other, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I will switch to my greatsword.
Alright.
Using my quick action, and I'm going to attack the top one.
Alright.
So the crit range for this will be 17 plus 1. 24 versus AC?
Is that minus the 4?
20 versus AC. My bad.
It's still a hit either way, so...
30 damage.
Alright. So he takes that. He is, No. He takes a good blow from you.
All right. Then I will save for the choking smoke.
You're not going to try and disengage or anything?
I can try and disengage with one, but I'm still engaged by the other.
No, you just have a severe penalty, but you can still try with no... Like, it doesn't cost you anything to try.
Okay. I'll try and disengage. I have a -1 penalty. Plus the
You'll have a
-5.
-6 penalty, yeah.
Yeah. So -6. No.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my turn.